Good morning, students. In this video, we are going to study about the appraisal of sustainable development, a challenge. Or you can say, what strategies can be built up to meet or sustainable development. So, you know that sustainable development means optimum utilization of resources as well as the effective management of the organization. So, which all strategies we can apply to get these things done? The first one is replenishment of resources. Replenishment is restoring. Okay, the meaning for replenishment is restoring. The resources should not only be used, should not only be degraded, should not only be exploited, but it should also be restored. Is it clear? So we know that the rate of extraction of these resources should not exceed the rate of generation of these resources. So we have to keep in mind that the rate of extraction of these resources should not exceed the rate of extraction of these resources. Is it clear? So we should see or we should look over these matter, as well as the extraction of the non-renewable resources which cannot be renewed should also be minimized, should also be decreased. Next is equitable use of resources across generation. Equitable use means equal usage. Efforts should be made in such a manner that in the present generation we can also use those resources, as well as our future generation can also get those resources and meet their needs. Is it clear? So we can fulfill our demand as well as we can fulfill the demand for the future generation without causing any harm to the environment. Next is environment protection. We should prevent the environment from the damages, from the pollutions. We should conserve it, because we know that quality of life is dependent on the quality of environment. So if we want to have a good quality of life, we should protect our environment and conserve it. Next is conservation of biological diversity. Conservation of biological diversity means we should conserve nature. We should conserve the flora and fauna present in our ecosystem. We should conserve it. We should not exploit them in such a manner that they get into extinction. Is it clear? Next is use of efficient technologies. We should use efficient technologies so that we can conserve our resources and we do not stress upon the resources. So if we use efficient technology, the wastage of the resources will be minimized. If the wastage will be minimized, then automatically we will you can say minimize the damage to the environment. Next is use of eco-friendly technologies. We should try to use environmental friendly technologies. For example, we should use gobar gas instead of coal fuels or petroleum. We should use wind power energy. We should use hydroelectric power energy. So we should use renewable sources of energy. Means you can say we can use eco-friendly techniques, eco-friendly, environmental friendly techniques, so that we conserve our environment as well as we do not add threats to our environment. Is it clear? Next is use of environment friendly sources of energy. Instead of coal, or you can say diesel and all, we can use LPG and CNG. You know that they are the cleaner fuel and the environment friendly product. Next is development of organic farming. You know what is organic farming? Organic farming involves the farming technique where we do not use chemical fertilizers and pesticides, where we do you can say where we do farming with the help of organic manures, fertilizers and all. We use gobar gas there. So we should promote organic farming if we want a good quality of product. Is it clear? Because if we use excessive fertilizers, excessive pesticides, it will reduce the fertility of the soil. It will cause soil erosion as well as the salination of the soil. Next is setting air quality and emission standard. The government must set air quality and emission standard for the vehicle to reduce air pollution. You know that Delhi government has their own standard for vehicle. If they are found like releasing more of gases in the atmosphere, then they will be fined, they will be penalized for that. Next is technical devices to reduce air pollution. You know that as the technologies are advancing, we should use new and better technologies to reduce air pollution. We should use such techniques where we can use low pollutant fuels, CNGs in place of petrol, and techniques using catalytic converter. Public means of transport. Here in Jamshedpur, we can see that we are moving in our private vehicle. But if you go to a metropolitan city like Kolkata, Delhi, you can find that more number of people are using public transport, because Delhi is facing problem because there also people are not listening and people are using private vehicle only. But you can go to Kolkata and you can see the majority of the people, the population of Kolkata is very, very high. And the majority of the people are using your public transport rather than private vehicles. If the complete population or the maximum population of Kolkata starts using private vehicle, then you cannot imagine the air pollution in the environment. Next is increasing public awareness. You know that natural environment is our personal asset, is our natural assets. So we need to be aware, we need to be knowledgeable enough to conserve these assets, because in future, in long run, this will benefit us only. Okay, so that's all for today. Thank you. Hope you have a nice day. Bye bye.